Hi everyone, this is Kyle with kayDbait. I wanted to do a video on, it's actually the environment and camping. And this isn't going to be as in-depth as I try to get in some of the other ones, because this is really just it's kind of a respect thing for the environment, where when people go camping, they're like, we love nature, let's go see it, let's go visit it. The home away from home, you can be taking an RV, or you can just go with a backpack and some supplies and just kind of drive out somewhere. And what it's really meant as when people go generally is kind of not a party, but an experience. And I can really respect that. I guess, I myself don't really like going out camping, and I don't really like, I don't like getting bit by bugs and like roughing it in the woods and stuff like that. But some people really like that, and I respect that. But when it has to deal with the environment, when it has to deal with the kinds of destruction that people bring with them because either they don't know what they're doing or they don't care. Some people, they just don't know. They don't know that throwing trash out into the woods actually never gets cleaned up, and then animals eat it and they die and whatever. Or just pollutes, natural pollutants, like leaving like half-eaten stuff can poison things, or leaving like plastics and things, and like, or chucking it into the lake or whatever. I'm not talking about like massive pollutants like you'd see in industrial zones. That stuff is an issue all in itself, and a big one. But I'm talking about just people that go there saying we love nature, and then they destroy stuff. You see it a lot with tourists, like they're going to another country or they're going somewhere far away, and they're like, oh, look, this is so beautiful, and then they just kind of throw garbage around it, or they like take a piece of it, and you're damaging stuff. And some things are historic, and that's another thing that you can argue whether it's good or bad for the environment to keep historical things around. But I'm talking about people that are they don't care about the place that they're visiting. They're like, oh, it's pretty picture, I'm going to destroy it. That's what I'm talking about. So you have people that get drunk and they throw their beer bottles everywhere, or they throw glass at stuff, or they cut down a tree, or just something. They damage something, and it's just one person. It's not that big a deal. It'll heal. But then you have thousands upon thousands of people doing this, and you go to campsites and they're just completely full of trash. The one time I really went camping with friends, it wasn't that bad because it was a campsite. It was a place that had trees, but it was really more of a park. And that place was fine because they cleaned it regularly. There was garbage cans, but we still respected the area we were in. We knew that if we didn't clean up after ourselves, somebody else would have to do it. And we also knew that it really wasn't a good thing to do. But there's so many people that don't clean up after themselves, because why should they? It's not their problem. And that is what this video is trying to say. Is if you're going to go visit a place because it's so beautiful, or it's so away from home, so different, or whatever, respect it. You don't have to necessarily respect the culture that it's in or whatever. That's a whole nother thing. But respect at least the most basic, clean up after yourself. Like, you're not stupid. You're not so basic that you don't understand that the things you do have consequences. If you're that bad, then you have problems and you need to fix that. But I'm talking about people that don't have that stupidity, that aren't that ignorant to the world. It's like, oh, yeah, I chucked, a beer bottle down that hole, but it's gone forever now. That's not how that works. You're an idiot. But you probably killed something, or you could. And that's really like 1,000 people doing that. You're going to kill things. You're going to damage things. It's like when you go to the beach and you see a hermit crab with a beer bottle as a shell. That's not good for it. Just that kind of idea is you're damaging the ecosystems. You're damaging, and it's really hard for me to give specific examples because I don't go camping. I don't see it a lot personally, but it's there, and you see it at the beaches. Like, anyone that goes to the beach regularly knows how much trash is at the beach, because people just throw stuff into the ocean. It's like, it's gone forever. It's not gone forever. It goes somewhere, and sometimes it comes back. But it's just, you see these massive cleanup details that people have. Volunteers, lots of volunteers all the time, cleaning up a park that got trashed, cleaning up a beach that got trashed, or a stadium that got trashed. The stadium is something man-made. It's something that's not part of nature, but it's still something that people just don't respect. It's like, yeah, it's gone. It's not my problem. And apathy is so bad. Apathy is what leads to this kind of behavior. It's either not my problem, it's somebody else's problem, or the problem just doesn't exist to some people. It's like, oh, out of sight, out of mind. And they think the world is so big that nothing they ever do will matter. And on an individual level, maybe it doesn't, like in that regard. It's like, oh, it's just one bottle. But you're not one person. It's millions of people doing the exact same thing. And that apathy, that it's not my problem idea, it is. Because on a cultural, my cultural ideology, and I've been thinking about this more and more lately, it's kind of, I want to say it's extreme, but it's really not extreme. It's basic human rights for people, basic respect for people, respect the environment, like, because we live in it. I mean, why would you kill the thing that makes you survive? Like, why would you want to kill the planet? And you really can't kill the planet, but you can kill the planet just enough that we die. You can destroy the planet enough that we humans cannot thrive in it. I mean, other things will thrive. The planet won't blow up. We don't even have enough nukes to do that. But, I mean, even if we all detonated them all at once, we'd just kind of cripple the surface. We wouldn't destroy the planet. But humans would die. There's so many things that we do right now that are killing us. We do a whole bunch of things that just make it harder for us to live. And we've gotten ways around it, but it's this apathy that so many people have. And the reason I'm talking about this actually is one of my friends went camping recently. Oh, I'll do a video on camping. And then I thought about it and the environment. I was like, what are the, like, camping is a wonderful thing. I mean, it can be a wonderful thing. It's a very unique experience for a lot of people, especially if you live in the city or if you've never been out into any rural areas. It can be a very, very unique experience. And I'm not saying anything bad about that. I'm talking about when you go, if you don't know what you're doing, you could take some, not a class, but just look it up online. It's like basic etiquettes and basic precautions. Like, don't just, kick out your fire in the middle of the woods because you can start a fire. That stuff's pretty basic. But also think about, I did my laundry in the creek. Don't use soap. I did my dishes in the river or something like that. Don't use soap. Don't do that. You can get environmentally friendly stuff, but you bring a thing of detergent to pour it into, like, this area and it just gets all over the place. That kind of stuff, that's ignorance, and that can be fixed because, apathy can lead to ignorance, but ignorance isn't in itself because of apathy. It might just be because you didn't know and nobody told you. So you can actually, I don't know, I'm going to figure it out. Empathy can lead to enlightenment in that regard. Understanding, learning, education. So if you're going to go camping, look at the things you can do to make it a better experience, not just for you guys, but also for the environment you're going to. Because for one thing, it's safer to know. It's better to know. Because, it's like this area, you can't eat certain things. Don't just warn the kids, don't eat these kinds of berries, you'll die. Or, don't go over here because you'll fall into a river and die, or fall into a hole or whatever. Knowing your environment is really, really helpful. And if you're going into a place that's already, you already know about, respect it, learn a little bit about it and say, you know what, I'm not going to bring this kind of thing because it's not good. And I think that's just, it's a basic kind of respect. It's a very basic respect. And I try to push that on every layer of a person's life, at least my own, is when you treat something with respect. That doesn't mean you have to worship it, or you don't have to revere something or treat it in a way that makes it like on a pedestal or whatever. That's not what respect is. It's understanding the benefits and understanding how to treat something so that you don't accidentally harm it. And it's like the most basic kind of respect that I know of, that I've learned through my life, is there are things that you should know, and you should, as I said, etiquette before, you should and should not do regarding certain things. And when it comes to camping, when it comes to being within a biosphere or an environment that is susceptible to what you do, respect is more about maintaining that instead of being apathetic towards the consequences of your actions. So apathy leads to damage, pretty much, or greed can lead to damage. It's like, I want whatever this is, so I'm just going to take it from wherever it is, and that can be bad because you're destroying the natural order of things. Because it's not one person; it's a million people. It's like, is it Yosemite? Old Faithful is not supposed to be that color. If you look at, like, if you just Google history of Old Faithful, or the discoloration of Old Faithful, it's because people throw garbage in it, and it completely discolored the entire thing. It's just completely, it looks really weird compared to what it used to. So it's like those kind of basic things. And I know I'm touching my face a lot because I'm just trying to think. When you go camping, or when you go out anywhere, just get everyone together that's going to go, and you just do the most basic kind of little educational thing. Is like, if you're gonna bring candy bars, bring a bag that you can put the candy bar wrappers in and take it home with you. Don't leave it there. The world is not your garbage can. Don't bring soaps that are, like dish soap. Don't bring bleach. Don't bring, like, these basic things. Like, don't bring these things because it's damaging to where you're going. And obviously you can still, take precautionary measures against animals. Like, yeah, that's fine. But, this is not that. This is precaution against you hurting that, not them hurting you. Because that's, again, something different. So I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit. Because it seems like, it's not a huge concern, at least in my group of friends, because very few of my friends go camping regularly. It's still something to think about, because there are a lot of people that go camping. There are a lot of people all the way around the world that go and do tourist stuff, and they destroy the places they go. And you see it sometimes on the news. Not all the time, because it's usually just like a small thing. But so and so, you're caught dumping whatever into whatever, and it happens a lot. People know it happens a lot, and they just kind of don't care. And again, it's not that huge of a thing. It's not that, life-altering, you just destroyed the most national treasure thing. That's mostly what people, when they're raiding other countries, do. But again, another topic, different topic. So that's it. I hope you guys have fun. Going camping is supposed to be a wonderful experience for everyone. It might not always be, but it can be. Don't throw dynamite into lakes to fish. People do that still. My dad knew somebody that did that. It really messes up everything. It kills everything. Destroys the ecosystem. It's like throwing dynamite into, like, a forest. Why would you do that? Like, I was trying to kill a thing. It's like, yeah, you just destroyed, like, 5,000 things that you weren't trying to. It's like, that's fine. I got what I wanted. So don't do that. Don't poison the environment. Don't blow up the environment. So that's really it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative, or got you to think about something, or any of those nice things. And I hope to see you in the next one. And peace.